Greetings, agents. This is Private Boulders, the mediocre gamer, and this is the Division 2. Thank you for tuning in. I appreciate you taking the time to watch my content. If you find it helpful, please consider liking and subscribing. I hope you're doing well today. Today we're looking at a build that all new players should have in their arsenal, and that is the standard drone and turret skill build. Very handy for any type of content, really. You can see in the footage here that the build I'm going to show you is what I'm running, and it's quite capable doing heroic content. So let's have a look. We'll start with the specialization, which is technician. There's a couple of reasons why this is popular with skill builds. The first option or reason is you get +1 skill tier when you're running technician. So that allows you to be a little bit more flexible with the gear you're running, the primary core with the gear you're running. The other reason is that you get 10% skill damage. So the turret and the drone get a 10% damage boost from running this. So there are a couple of reasons. Just make sure that whatever weapons you are running, that you have the appropriate passive damage talents selected in the technician. So if you're running an assault rifle and an SMG, just make sure you've got those weapons selected in the technician, so that you're getting that that damage increases up to 15% increased damage for those weapons. All right, so the actual build itself is 3-piece Empress, 2 pieces of Hannah U, and 1 piece of Wyvern. So with Empress, that gives us 3 pieces, gives us +10% skill health, +10% skill damage, and +10% skill efficiency. With the Hannah U, 2 pieces of that give us +10% skill haste and +10% skill damage, and the 1 piece of Wyvern gives us +8% skill damage. So we're just trying to maximize the amount of damage our skills are doing, so that when in combat, we're taking down those enemies as fast as we can. Minor attributes, you want to, on each piece, you want to have skill damage, so you can go up to a maximum of 10% skill damage on each piece. For the second minor attribute, that's entirely up to you. Most people go with skill haste, but it's probably, you probably don't want skill haste on all of them. Some other options to consider might be critically at chance and maybe armor regen. It's up to you. Now, as far as chest talents go, you have 2 options. The first one being glass cannon, where all damage you deal is amplified by 25%. All damage you take is amplified by 50%. Some people may not like that because of the amp damage that you take. But the bonus to this is the amplified damage, that 25%, that does actually include your skills. So your drone and your turret, they're also going to be doing extra damage. So that is something to consider, and probably worthwhile, I'd say. The other skill that you could consider would be kinetic momentum. So when in combat, each skill generates a stack while active or not on cooldown. Stacks increase your total skill damage by 1.5% and total skill repair by 2%. So up to 15 stacks per skill lost when on cooldown. So that's a really great one to have, because if you're at max stacks there, your skill damage is at like 22.5%. So not quite as good as glass cannon, which is 25%, but pretty close. So that is one. They're the main 2 chest talents that I could recommend. As far as, so in this build that I'm showing in the footage, I'm running glass cannon. The backpack I'm running is the named Hannah U force multiplier. That comes with perfect combined arms. So shooting an enemy increases total skill damage by 30% for 3 seconds. So we're getting another damage amp there of 30%, which is quite good. It just means that you have to pop up every 3 seconds and shoot an enemy. You don't have to kill an enemy, you just have to shoot them to refresh that skill, which is pretty good. So the other one that you can consider on your backpack is tech support. So skill kills increase total skill damage by 25% for 25 seconds. That's a pretty good one. As long as one of your skills gets the kill, then skill damage for both skills is increased by 25% for 25 seconds. So once again, we're really trying to maximize the damage that your skills are doing so that they're doing most of the work. So there you go, there's a couple of options there. I'm running the force multiplier backpack in the footage with the perfect combined arms. Just a note on skill efficiency, in case you were wondering. Skill efficiency is kind of it's like a catch-all type skill that includes quite a bit of extra talents that are very beneficial if you're running a skill build. So if you're running 3-piece event press with your 8% skill efficiency, that means that within the skill efficiency, you're getting 8% skill damage, 8% skill haste, 8% skill duration, 8% skill health, 8% repair skills, and 8% status effects. So with your turret and drone, these extra skill damage, skill haste, skill duration, and skill health really come into benefit there. So that's really quite worthwhile. As far as weapons go, it doesn't really matter what weapons you get, I guess. In the video here, I am running 2 named items. The first one is Test Subject, which is an assault rifle, and the second one is a rifle called Harmony. Both of those weapons come with the talent called Perfectly in Sync. So hitting an enemy grants 20% skill damage for 5 seconds. And using a non-shield skill or damaging an enemy with a skill grants 20% weapon damage for 5 seconds. Damage increases are doubled while both buffs are active at the same time. So if you're hitting an enemy and your skills are damaging an enemy, you're getting 20% skill damage for 5 seconds, and you're getting 20% weapon damage for 5 seconds. So that's really quite handy. As the talent says, it's in sync. It synergizes really well with a skill build when you're running turret and drone. The other weapon that you could consider is Mechanical Animal, which is also a named assault rifle. That comes with the talent Future Perfection. So weapon kills grant +1 skill tier for 19 seconds, and that stacks up to 4 times. Weapon kills at skill tier 6 grant overcharge for 15 seconds. The overcharge is 90 seconds. So with a turret on overcharge, it's an extra 175% damage from base, and it's an extra 560% health from base. And with the drone, it's 175% extra damage from the base, and it's an extra 420% health from base. So that's quite a useful weapon to have as well. Bear in mind though that is actually weapon kills. You have to actually get the kill with the weapon for those for the overcharge to kick in. Because you're running Technician and you're getting that extra skill tier, you'll probably find that you've got 6 pieces. You're probably already running 6 skill tiers. So what you could do there is, depending on what your playstyle is or what you want, you can actually lose one of these skill tiers on your weapon and swap it out for either a weapon core. So, if it's maxed out, that'd be 15% extra weapon damage. Or you could swap it out for armor if you're wanting a little bit more armor. And if that was maxed out, you would be getting an extra 170,000 armor from having 1 extra core. So depending on what your chest and backpack talent are, you definitely can look at swapping out one of those skill tiers on one of your gear pieces to maximize that. Either increase your damage or increase your armor. Just depends on how you play it. And then you've got your assault turret and your striker drone to do most of the hard work for you. Just make sure that you place your turret a little bit away from you, because the enemies are naturally going to want to attack that. And if you've got an enemy who is lobbing grenades at you, or they're sending if it's one of those remote control cars that explodes or something, those types of damage area effect, and you don't want to get caught in the blast. So lob it as far away as you can. Let them do the hard work. Let the enemies focus on those, and then while the enemy is targeting them, that's the opportunity for you to pop up with either of your weapons and start giving them some damage. And that way, if you're using the combined arms talent, then that will actually start proccing. If you're using in sync, then that will start proccing as well, and you're increasing your damage. So there you go. That is a basic skill build that has been around for a long time. I suggest that you have this in your arsenal, as it is quite versatile. It's very handy, and it can put out quite a bit of damage, and quite customizable as well. So there you go. What are your thoughts as a newer player? Do you have this build, or do you have something similar? Is this something you would consider using? Let me know in the comments. That's all for now. Thank you for watching. I really appreciate it. And until next time, stay safe out there, agents. Take care.